and welcome to the National Contention podcast with your host, Hugh Skidmore, creator, founder, and editor-in-chief of National Contention. If you're wondering, I am Hugh Skidmore. Hello. If you're just joining us, this week we'll be talking about our featured articles, our featured videos, and this podcast. Our featured article for this week is The Truth Behind Vaccines and Autism. It's a look into the truth behind vaccines and autism. It talks about whether or not vaccines cause autism. I wrote the article, so I would know. Basically, I looked through it, some theories behind how vaccines could cause autism, and I decided overwhelmingly that most of the theories aren't really true, and that the best thing to do is get yourself vaccinated. On that topic, our featured video for this week is The Dangers of Vaccines. I'm just going to tell you right now, there are no dangers. Okay, well, there are some mild dangers. There are some mild side effects from vaccines, but overwhelmingly, the side effects for the diseases that they're preventing are much worse, like dying. If you watched last week's podcast, you know this week's reading is House of Leaves. I don't know how I'm expecting you to read that in a week, but you should have to prepare for this podcast. Anyways, just to recap, this book is about... First, let me recap. It's written by Mark Z. Danielewski. Then, it's written by Johnny Truant, a drug user and tattoo parlor worker. Doesn't do tattoos, but he works there. And has a lot of sex. I don't know what job title that is, but he does have a lot of sex, supposedly, at least. And he found a manuscript from his neighbor, Zampano, a blind man who watched a movie. This movie was about Will Navidson, and it's called The Navidson Record. Will Navidson and his, not wife, but partner, and children, and dog, and cat, moved to Virginia on Ash Tree Lane and moved into a house that is bigger on the inside than on the outside. What that means is it turns into a never escaping, never ending, dark hellhole where people are swallowed whole and die. You know, this book reminded me a lot about conspiracy theories. It's dark, scary, brings fear to your heart, and it's got a lot of fake sources, kind of like the Andrew Wakefield. If you read my featured article, you'd know what that means. And it's got so many meanings to it, many of which could be possible, but no one knows what is truly the truth. Asking who wrote it is like asking who shot JFK. Nobody really knows. So, did Johnny make it all up? Did Zampano make it all up? Did Will make it, the parts that he could make up that part? Or did this Mark Danielewski guy make it up? I have my doubts. Think about it. Will Navidson doesn't exist. Says he won a Pulitzer Prize. Didn't happen. Zampano, he's blind. How's he gonna watch a movie? He's blind. Come on. I know, I can easily debunk that one. Johnny, he makes up stuff all the time. All the time. Stories, everything. He's doing drugs all the time. He says he has sex with women, probably makes all that up. Towards the end, he even says he's lying. Says, oh, you should have known because I wasn't swearing. It's like, what? Jeez, I thought, you know, we're America, okay, Christian values. Why would people swear in the first place? I actually I try not to read those passages. If you have children, do not read those passages in front, if they could like possibly read them, if they're like behind you or something. It's an M-rated book. It's an R-rated book for adults only. But we are adults here. I think the uncomfortable conclusion is that we don't really know what the answer is. We don't really know who wrote the Davidson Record, or House of Leaves, or anything that happens in that book, really. And that in a way, that's kind of like the link between autism and vaccines. People can try all they might, but they're probably never going to find a link. And in that same vein, scientists can try all they want, and there's still going to be people who are not going to believe them. Sometimes there's just no answer, even if one answer is probable. That's it for this week's podcast. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you keep enjoying. Thank you for watching.